Developers are hoping to build a 4-story apartment building near I-90 in the Grant Creek area of Missoula, but people who live near that neighborhood say they don't want that to happen. KPAX's Katie Miller takes a closer look.
The city does need more housing, and it needs to be distributed fairly, and it needs to be distributed in ways that the people who are moving into the new houses have the services the city is obligated to provide.
KJA Development is petitioning to rezone this lot in the Grant Creek area to make room for the apartments it wants to build.
I hate to say it, but it's almost as soon as we build them, they fill them. So there's a need, and the need is getting greater and greater. It seems like we've been building them for years, and the need is still there. So
developer Ken Alt says he wants to put up 4-story apartment buildings that would have about 1,000 units. Current zoning only allows for about 500 units. But in a public meeting on Tuesday, the planning board recommended the city council not approve the rezoning application.
Alt says he's moving forward with the project whether this lot gets rezoned or not, and construction is already underway. One thing he says he didn't get to mention in that planning board meeting, though, are his plans for the rest of the area, like adding hiking trails and a dog area to this hill.
Ultimately, the rezoning decision is up to city council. Under the current zoning, Alt can build similar units, but he's hoping for more and bigger.
Just presented our best plan first, and it's just been scary for the neighborhood to understand what that looks like.
Friends of Grant Creek, a group of people living in the area, say there isn't enough infrastructure to support the expected increased traffic, and they're worried about access for emergency response and evacuation.
My home, for example, lies within 300 yards of the last 2 wildfires that we have had in Grant Creek.
If the services aren't there, that growth should not go there.
Friends of Grant Creek say there is plenty of room to develop and grow under the current zoning. KJA Development will meet with the Land Use and Planning Committee later this month, where Alt hopes to change the minds. In Missoula, Katie Miller, MTN News.
Hundreds of public comments were submitted with the help of Friends of Grant Creek ahead of this week's planning board meeting, mostly opposed to rezoning. The Montana Department of Transportation is working to add safer access to I-90 from Grant Creek Road.